This Tudor mansion wasn't just abandoned by its owners. They say it refused to let them leave. Wynyates in Warwickshire, built in 1550, 47 rooms, 83 windows, and according to the construction records, 48 doors. But here's what they don't tell you in the history books. When the renovation team opened the West Wing in 1978, they found something that shouldn't exist. A room, completely sealed, no windows, no entrance on the original blueprints, and inside, a single chair, facing the wall, with scratch marks on the armrests so deep they went through the wood and into the stone floor beneath. The restoration was halted for 6 months, no official reason given. 3 members of the restoration team quit. One of them, a master carpenter named Robert Mills, told his family, "I've worked on cathedrals, I've restored castles, but Wynyates, that place isn't haunted, it's occupied." This is the story of Wynyates Manor, a house that took 11 years to build. 7 workers disappeared during construction, where every generation of owners has fled, where something has been sitting in that sealed room for over 400 years, and why, according to the Compton family archives, it must never be allowed to stand up. The land before the house. Before we talk about the house, we need to talk about the land. Warwickshire, Central England. Rich agricultural soil, rolling hills, beautiful countryside. But the specific plot where Wynyates sits, local farmers avoided it for centuries. Medieval records from 1320 mention the location. They called it Wagenhavud in Old English, roughly translates to Wagon's Head or Way's End. But here's the strange part. There was no road there, no path, no reason for it to be called Way's End, unless something ended there. In 1423, a monastery in Warwick purchased the land. The monks attempted to build a chapel, foundation laid, walls halfway up. Then the construction stopped, abruptly. The monastery's account books show something unusual. They paid the workers, paid for all the materials, then paid again to have everything torn down and carted away. The land was left empty. The monastery's records include a single line from Abbot Thomas Whitmore. "The ground refuses consecration. Let it lie fallow. Let nothing be built here. The earth remembers what it has swallowed." What did that mean? For 127 years, nothing was built on that land. It sat empty, unused. Local folklore from the period mentions the waiting field. Children were told not to play there. Farmers wouldn't let their cattle graze there. Why? One account from 1489, recorded by a traveling priest, describes what locals reported. On certain nights, when the moon is dark, lights can be seen on the field. Not torches, not fires, lights that move beneath the soil, as if something below is searching for a way up. That's the land Sir William Compton the Younger chose to build his manor in 1550. Sir William Compton, the man who knew. Born 1520. Son of Sir William Compton the Elder, who was Henry VIII's closest friend and companion. The Compton family had wealth, power, direct access to the crown. Young William grew up in court, educated, connected. By age 30, he could have built a mansion anywhere, London, Oxford, near the royal palaces. Instead, he chose an abandoned field in Warwickshire that locals believed was cursed. Why? The official records say Sir William wanted a country estate for contemplation and leisure,
away from court politics. But his personal correspondence tells a different story. In 1548, 2 years before construction began, William wrote to his cousin, Edward Compton, "I have found something that father spoke of before his death. He made me swear never to seek it, but curiosity is a poison that runs in our blood. I have consulted scholars. I have read forbidden texts. I believe I understand what must be done." What had he found? What texts? William's father died in 1528 when William was just 8 years old. But before his death, the elder William left a sealed letter for his son to be opened on his 30th birthday. That letter has never been found, but we know it existed because William references it in multiple documents. In 1549, he writes to an Italian architect, "My father warned me. He said, 'Some things cannot be destroyed, they can only be contained, and containment requires sacrifice of time, of wealth, of peace. Our family made a promise centuries ago. I pass that burden to you.'" Here's what makes this fascinating. Historical records show the Compton family lineage goes back to the Norman Conquest, 1066. But there's a gap. Between 1320 and 1420, there's almost no record of the Comptons in Warwickshire. They appear in London records, Yorkshire, even France, but not Warwickshire, not for 100 years. The same 100 years that the land at Wynyates was abandoned after the monastery incident. Then in 1423, the exact year the monastery tore down their chapel, a Compton returns to Warwickshire. Sir Edmund Compton purchases land nearby, not the cursed field, but close. His will, dated 1447, includes a strange clause. "My sons and their sons must maintain watch. Every generation must remember. The field must remain empty until the time is right. We will know." Watch for what? What made 1550 the right time? William Compton believed he knew, and in 1550 he began construction on Wynyates.
The construction, 11 years of secrets. Normal Tudor manor construction, 4 to 6 years. Wynyates, 11 years. Let's break down why. Phase 1, the foundation, 1550 to 1553. Most Tudor houses had foundations 10 to 12 feet deep, enough for stability. Wynyates, 32 feet. The construction foreman, a master mason named Gregory Thorne, kept detailed records. They're now housed in the Warwickshire County Archives. June 1550. Excavation begins. Sir William insists we dig according to his specifications. 20 feet down, we hit bedrock. He orders us to continue. August 1550. The workers are uneasy. At 25 feet, we've broken through the bedrock into a natural cavity. Sir William descends with lanterns. He returns 4 hours later. His face is pale. He orders us to dig 5 feet deeper, then stop. September 1550. We have reached 32 feet. There is something down here. Not a cave, not natural. Stonework. Ancient. Pre-Roman, perhaps. Older. Sir William will not let us excavate it. He orders it sealed. Concrete and lead, 2 feet thick. Pre-Roman stonework in Warwickshire, under a field that locals had avoided for centuries. What was it? Who built it? Gregory Thorne's records continue. October 1550.
The ceiling is complete. Sir William has specific instructions for the central chamber. The walls must be 3 feet thick, no windows, only one entrance which will later be sealed. He personally oversees the placement of every stone. March 1554. A chair arrives, brought from London in a sealed wagon. Sir William will not allow anyone to touch it. He and 2 servants carry it into the central chamber. They are inside for 2 hours. When they emerge, both servants are weeping. Sir William pays them £20 each, a year's wages, and sends them away. I never see them again. April 1554. Sir William orders the entrance to the central chamber sealed, bricked up. Before the final brick is laid, he stands at the threshold. He is speaking to someone, but the chamber is empty. I can see inside. There is only the chair. Yet he speaks as if someone is responding. I hear him say, "You agreed to remain. I have built your prison as you specified. You will have your chair. You will have your view. And in exchange, you will take no other seat. You will harm no other soul. Do you accept?"
He waits, listening. Then he nods and says, "Then it is bound, by stone, by will, by blood if necessary." Then the final brick was laid, the chamber was sealed, and phase 3 of construction began. Now we come to the part that's documented in official records, not just Gregory Thorne's private journal, but in county ledgers and church records. 7 workers disappeared during the construction of Wynyates. Their names: Thomas Fletcher, carpenter, age 34; William Moss, stonemason, age 41; John Harwood, laborer, age 28; Richard Blake, plasterer, age 36; Edward Mills, carpenter, age 29; Henry Warren, laborer, age 25; Samuel Pike, mason, age 38. All disappeared between 1555 and 1557 during the construction of the upper floors and the west wing. Here's what's documented. Thomas Fletcher disappeared first, May 15th, 1555. He was working on the west wing, directly above the sealed chamber. His tools were found at his workstation. His coat was hanging on a nail. His lunch, bread and cheese, sat half-eaten, but Thomas was gone. A search party looked for 3 days. No trace, no body, nothing. 2 weeks later, his family received a payment, £40, an enormous sum, enough to live comfortably for 5 years. The payment came from Sir William's estate, with a note: "Thomas Fletcher has entered service elsewhere and cannot return." This compensates his family for their loss and ensures their silence. The same pattern repeated 6 more times. Worker disappears, no body found, family receives substantial payment and a demand for silence. By 1557, the other workers were terrified. Several quit. Gregory Thorne writes, "The men believe the house is cursed. They say they hear sounds from the sealed chamber, scraping, as if someone is trying to carve through the walls from inside. But when I press my ear to the wall, I hear nothing. Sir William says it is their imagination, but I have seen his face when he thinks no one is watching. He is afraid." The completion and immediate aftermath. Wynyates Manor was completed in 1561, 11 years after construction began. The final structure, 3 stories, 47 rooms, 83 windows, 6 hidden staircases lead to the lower chambers, and 1 room, sealed forever, in the west wing. Sir William moved in immediately, with his wife, Catherine, and their 3 children.
But here's where the story gets strange. The first 6 months were apparently normal. Sir William hosted guests. The family attended church. By all accounts, they seemed content. Then, in January 1562, something changed. A letter from Catherine Compton to her sister, dated January 18, 1562. Dearest Margaret, I must confide in you a worry that grows daily. William has become obsessed with the West Wing. He walks the corridors at night. I have followed him twice. He stops at a particular wall. There is nothing there, just plaster and brick, and he listens. When I ask what he hears, he tells me, making sure it's kept its promise. The children will not play in that wing. Little Edmund says there is a sad man in the wall who wants to come out. I tell him it is his imagination, but I confess I too feel unwelcome there, as if we are intruding on something that wishes to be left alone. 3 weeks later, another letter from Catherine. William has forbidden us from the West Wing entirely. He has had the entrances locked. He alone carries the key. Last night, I woke to find his side of the bed empty. I searched and found him in the West Wing corridor, sitting on the floor before that same wall, speaking in a language I do not recognize. Not French, not Latin, something older. When I touched his shoulder, he startled as if waking from a dream. He looked at me with such fear in his eyes and said, "It wants to renegotiate. It says the agreement was made under duress. It wants to leave the chair." I asked what he meant. He would not explain. By March 1562, Sir William had become reclusive. Gregory Thorne, who by now was employed as the manor's maintenance supervisor, recorded, "Sir William sleeps little. He paces the West Wing nightly. I have heard him arguing with someone, though he is always alone. Yesterday, I found deep scratches on the inside of the sealed wall, fresh scratches, as if made recently, but the wall has been bricked up for 8 years. Nothing could have made those marks from inside, yet there they are, and they spell words. The words are Latin, libertas, exio, cathedra dolet, freedom, I depart, the chair hurts. Wait, scratches? From inside a sealed room that had been bricked up for 8 years? How? Gregory Thorne continues. I showed Sir William the scratches. His face went white. He ordered me to plaster over them immediately. As I worked, he stood watch, murmuring prayers. When I finished, he said something I will never forget. It's testing the boundaries, seeing if we will notice, if we will respond. We must, every time, or it will believe the agreement has lapsed. 1 week later, March 24, 1562, Catherine Compton woke to find every door in Wynyates Manor open. Every single one. 83 windows, 48 doors, all standing open, except one. The sealed entrance to the central chamber in the West Wing. That wall remained intact, but on the plaster, written in what appeared to be soot, were 2 words, almost free. Sir William's response was extreme. He hired 4 men to guard the West Wing, day and night, rotating shifts. They were paid triple the normal wage. He also commissioned a stonemason to reinforce the sealed wall, added another 2 feet of stone. Iron bars are embedded in the masonry. In a letter to his brother, dated April 1562, William wrote, "It was a mistake to believe containment alone would suffice. It requires constant vigilance. Father was right. This is a burden that passes through generations. I will not live to see it end, neither will my son. This is eternal." That letter was written in April 1562. By September of that year, Sir William Compton the Younger was dead. The mysterious death of Sir William. September 14, 1562. Sir William Compton was found dead in the West Wing corridor. He was 42 years old. The official cause of death, sudden illness, heart failure. But the circumstances? Far stranger. The morning of September 14th began normally. Sir William breakfasted with his family. He seemed in good spirits. He mentioned plans to travel to London the following week. At 2 p.m., he excused himself, said he needed to check something in the West Wing. By 5 p.m., when he hadn't returned, Catherine sent a servant to find him. The servant found him lying in the West Wing corridor, directly in front of the sealed wall, dead. The servant's statement, recorded by the local magistrate: Sir William lay on his back, arms at his sides, as if he'd simply laid down to rest. His eyes were open. His face was, I do not know how to describe it, not peaceful, not terrified, resigned, as if he'd accepted something inevitable. But there were marks on his wrists, deep grooves, as if he'd been gripping something with enormous force, and his fingers, they were bent backward, not broken, but bent, as if he'd been pried away from something he was holding. The local physician, Dr. Edmund Hartley, examined the body. His report includes these notes: no apparent cause of death. Heart and lungs appear healthy. No signs of poisoning or violence. However, there are anomalies. 1. The patient's body temperature is abnormally low, far below what would be expected even hours after death. 2. Lividity patterns are inconsistent with the body's position. The pooling of blood suggests he died while seated, yet he was found lying down. 3. There are abrasions on his palms and fingertips, as if he'd been clawing at stone. When they moved Sir William's body, they found something underneath him, a key, the key to the West Wing, and carved into the floor where his body had lain, scratched into the wooden planks, were 3 words: "It touched me." But here's the thing that terrified everyone. Those words were in Sir William's handwriting, his distinctive script, no question, which meant he'd carved them either as he was dying or after. Catherine Compton demanded answers. She ordered the sealed wall opened. Gregory Thorne and 2 masons were instructed to break through. They refused. Gregory's journal explains why. Lady Catherine offered me £50 to open that wall. £50, a fortune. But I declined. I told her what Sir William told me years ago. If that wall ever comes down, if what's inside is released, it will not stop at this house. It will not stop at this county. Some prisons must remain locked, regardless of what we wish to know. Catherine accepted this. Barely. The funeral was held September 18, 1562. Sir William was buried in the local churchyard, not on the manor grounds. 3 days after the funeral, Catherine Compton made a decision. She and the children would leave Wynyates, immediately, permanently. She left Gregory Thorne in charge, with a full staff and generous funding. Her final instruction: the manor must remain occupied. The West Wing must remain locked. My husband died keeping something contained. I will honor that sacrifice by ensuring his work continues. Catherine moved to London. She never returned to Wynyates, not once in the remaining 34 years of her life. And when her son, Henry Compton, inherited the estate in 1596, he received a letter from his mother. Your father died for that house. Do not make his sacrifice meaningless. Keep it locked, keep it staffed, but never, ever live there. Henry followed her advice. The Compton family never lived in Wynyates Manor again. The 17th century, the haunted years. For the next century, Wynyates Manor was occupied by staff, but never by the Compton family themselves. And during those 100 years, the house earned its reputation. King James I ascended to the English throne in 1603. He was known for his interest in witchcraft and the supernatural. When he heard rumors about Wynyates, he demanded to visit. Henry Compton couldn't refuse a royal request. James I arrived at Wynyates on June 22, 1603, with a small entourage. He was given a tour of the manor. When they reached the West Wing, James insisted on seeing the sealed room. Henry explained it couldn't be opened. James, annoyed, declared, "I am your king, open it." Henry refused. A standoff, a commoner refusing a direct royal command. Finally, Henry said, "Your Majesty, my father sealed that room to protect England. If you command me to open it, I will, but I will not be responsible for what follows." James, intrigued, asked what was inside. Henry replied, "Something that sits, and if it stands, it will walk. And Your Majesty, I do not believe it will stop walking." James I, for all his fascination with the occult, was not a fool. He studied Henry's face. Then he studied the sealed wall. Then he said, "Keep it sealed." The royal party left within the hour. In his private diary, later published, James I wrote, "I have investigated many claims of witchcraft and devilry. Most are superstition, some are deception, but today I encountered something genuine. Lord Compton was not afraid of me, he was afraid for me. That fear was real. I trust it." Now we return to Eleanor Finch, the maid I mentioned earlier, but let's go deeper into what actually happened. Eleanor had worked at Wynyates for 7 years. She was 24 years old, hard-working, reliable, no history of mental illness or strange behavior. On the night of November 3, 1623, she was assigned to clean the West Wing corridors.
She never finished. The head housekeeper, Mrs. Dawson, later testified to local authorities. Eleanor took her cleaning supplies into the West Wing at 8 p.m. By 10 p.m., she hadn't returned. I went to check on her. I found her supplies in the corridor, bucket overturned, rags scattered, but Eleanor was gone. The candles were still lit. Whatever happened, happened quickly. She didn't run out of light. She ran. A search began immediately. The entire staff combed the manor. They found her 3 days later, 12 miles away, wandering the village of Kinneton. Barefoot, nightgown torn, middle of winter. Dr. William Sutton examined her. Patient is non-responsive, will not speak, will not eat. When seated in a chair, she immediately leaps up as if burned. She will stand for hours without complaint, or lie down, but she will not sit. I attempted to force her to sit, to test her reaction. The moment her body touched the chair, she began screaming, not words, just sound, raw, primal. She fought with such strength that 2 orderlies could barely restrain her. I have never witnessed such a visceral aversion to a simple piece of furniture. Eleanor was taken to her sister's home. For 6 weeks she remained mute. Then on December 20, she spoke. One sentence. The chair is waiting." Her sister asked, "What chair? Where?" Eleanor looked at her with hollow eyes and said, "The chair knows my name now. If I sit anywhere, I'll feel it beneath me, waiting, wanting." Then she screamed for 4 hours straight. Eleanor Finch lived another 43 years. She died in 1666, age 67. She never sat down, not once.
She ate standing up. She slept lying down. She attended church standing in the back. People thought she was mad. Maybe she was. But here's what makes it credible. Medical records from her later years show severe leg and back problems, conditions that would have been agonizing without sitting. Yet she endured the pain rather than sit. What had she seen in that West Wing corridor? What did the chair show her? She never explained, but she left a will. In it, one clause: "When I die, do not lay me in a chair to dress my body. Let me lie on a table. The chair must not touch me, not in life, not in death." The 18th century, decline and mystery. By 1700, Wynyates was decaying. The Compton family still paid for maintenance, but the house was crumbling. Staff were hard to retain. Rumors kept people away. The manor became known locally as the Quiet House, not because it was peaceful, because despite being occupied by a dozen staff members, no one outside ever heard any noise from within. A groundskeeper named Samuel Prescott worked at Wynyates for 11 months. His employment ended abruptly. In his final report to the Compton estate, he wrote, "I can no longer work at Wynyates. What I have witnessed defies explanation. For weeks I noticed footprints appearing in the dust of the West Wing corridor. Fresh footprints, despite no one entering that wing. The door is locked. I have the only key. The footprints are bare feet, adult-sized. They begin at the sealed wall and walk to the end of the corridor. Then they stop. They do not return. It is as if someone walks through the wall, down the corridor, then vanishes."
Yesterday, I followed the prints to where they end. There I found something that made me flee. A handprint on the window glass, from the inside. But the print was wrong. The fingers were too long, and there were 7 of them. The Wellington family incident I mentioned earlier. Let's go much deeper. Mr. Richard Wellington was 52 years old, a successful merchant, member of the Royal Society, published papers on engineering and architecture. Not superstitious, not prone to fantasy. He leased Wynyates in June 1764 with his wife, Margaret, and their 2 teenage daughters. They planned to restore the manor and make it their country home. Wellington's diary for the first month is mundane. June 15th, arrived at Wynyates. House is shabby but structurally sound. Will require significant renovation. June 22, have hired local craftsmen. Work begins on the east wing. July 1, Margaret has made this place feel like home. The girls are adjusting well. Then, July 8. July 8, something peculiar. Our youngest daughter, Amelie, refuses to go near the west wing. She says she hears humming. We hear nothing. Doctor says she's overtired from the move. July 15th. I must record what happened tonight, though I scarcely believe it myself. At midnight, I was awakened by a sound. Doors, every door in the house, opening, closing, methodically, rhythmically. I lit a candle and ventured into the hallway. The sound was undeniable, starting from the top floor, working downward. Creak, click, creak, click, creak, click. Each door opening and closing in perfect sequence. But here's what froze my blood. The doors were not opening from wind or draft. They opened slowly, deliberately, as if someone was walking through the house, opening each door, closing it, then moving to the next. I followed the sound, down from the 3rd floor, to the 2nd, to the 1st. It was moving toward the west wing. Margaret begged me not to follow, but I am not a man who runs from strange phenomena. I needed to understand. The sounds led to the west wing, the locked wing, and stopped at the sealed wall. Then I heard something new, not a door, scratching from inside the wall.
slow, methodical, like someone tracing letters. I pressed my ear to the plaster, and I heard breathing, slow, deep, one breath every 3 minutes. Then it spoke. It spoke in perfect English, a voice like dry leaves rustling. It said, "How long?" I nearly fled, but some foolish impulse made me answer. I said, "How long what?" The voice replied, "How long since I sat down? I've forgotten. Time is different here." I asked, "Who are you?" Long pause. Then, "I don't remember, but I remember agreeing. I agreed to sit, was promised something. Was it freedom? Was it peace? I don't remember, but I'm still sitting, still waiting. The promise hasn't come." Then it said, "Someone new is here. I can hear footsteps above me. Children. I remember children. I had children once, I think, before the chair. I want to see them. I want to stand up, just for a moment, just to walk. Would that break the promise? I don't remember the terms." I said nothing. I backed away slowly. The voice followed, "If I stand, will the house fall? Will England fall? I don't remember, but my legs ache. 400 years, or is it 4,000? Time is different here." July 16th. We are leaving. Today. Now. I have forfeited the lease. I have lost the payment. I do not care. Whatever is in that sealed room is conscious. It is patient, and it is forgetting why it's there. When something imprisoned for centuries begins to forget the terms of its imprisonment, that is when it becomes dangerous. The Wellington family left that morning. They never spoke publicly about what happened, but Richard Wellington never joined the Royal Society again, never published another paper. He spent his final years studying theology. His last published work, released privately in 1789, was titled "On the Nature of Bargains That Outlive Understanding."
The Victorian Investigation. Edmund Crawley. By 1850, Wynyates had been empty for decades. The Compton family wanted answers. Enter Edmund Crawley, age 43, paranormal investigator, contemporary of Harry Price. Crawley was a rationalist who investigated hauntings to debunk them. He'd exposed dozens of frauds. He accepted the Wynyates assignment confidently. Crawley's journal is methodical. Day 1. Arrived at Wynyates. House is decayed but not dangerous. No immediate anomalies. Day 3. Have set up instruments, thermometers, barometers, sound recording equipment. Will document any unusual phenomena scientifically. Day 7. Nothing unusual detected. Beginning to suspect the manor's reputation is merely local superstition. Then, Day 10. I was wrong. I have spent the past 3 days mapping the house. The architecture is intentionally disorienting. Corridors that should connect based on the exterior dimensions do not. Rooms that appear on historical blueprints cannot be found. Today, I discovered why. There is space missing, approximately 400 square feet on the ground floor west wing that is unaccounted for. It should be a room, but there's only wall. I consulted the blueprints. Nothing. I questioned the caretaker. He confirms that's the sealed room, hasn't been opened since 1562. Day 12. I have located the hidden staircases. 12 of them spiraling down to lower chambers. Why would anyone build so many secret passages to a basement? Day 15. The lower chambers are remarkable. 6 rooms arranged in a hexagon. The central chamber is directly below the sealed room above. The architecture mirrors itself, above and below. The air down here is wrong, not stale, not musty, empty,
as if something has consumed all warmth, all comfort. Day 18. I've been down here too long. I need to surface, but first I must examine the central chamber. The central chamber door is locked, heavy iron. I can hear something inside. Not a sound, not a movement, a rhythm, like breathing. One breath every 3 minutes, deep, slow, measured. I've been listening for 20 minutes. It never varies, never pauses, just breathing. I called through the door, "Who's there?" The breathing stopped. Silence for 5 minutes. Then it resumed, but now every 2 minutes, as if acknowledging me, as if answering. Day 20. I cannot stop thinking about that breathing. I've tried to leave the manor. I get to the front door. Then I think, what if I'm missing something? What if the answer is just one more day of investigation? Day 24. The breathing has changed rhythm again. Every 90 seconds now. It's speeding up. Why? Day 27. I dreamed I was sitting in a chair. I couldn't move, couldn't stand, just sitting, forever. I awoke screaming. Day 30. I must leave today. I cannot stay here. Whatever is in that chamber knows I'm here, and it's calling to me. I am leaving Wynyates this morning. I will submit my report, then resign from paranormal investigation. My conclusion: Wynyates is not haunted. It is occupied by something that made an agreement centuries ago, something that has kept that agreement. But agreements made under duress, maintained through eternity, eventually erode. What happens when something imprisoned for 400 years decides the terms were unfair, when it begins to question its compliance? I do not wish to know, but I fear England will discover the answer eventually. Crawley submitted his full report to the Compton family. They sealed it immediately, classified. Only one sentence was ever leaked. The chair in the sealed room was not empty.
The Modern Era, 1978 and beyond. James Morrison, young architect, 32 years old, assigned by the UK Heritage Foundation to restore Wynyates. He brought a team of 12 specialists. He was determined to succeed where others had fled. Ground-penetrating radar revealed the sealed room. Morrison's team debated, open it or leave it. Morrison decided, we're scientists, we're historians, we open it. 3 team members quit immediately. The remaining 9 breached the wall. One room, approximately 12 by 12 feet. No windows, stone walls 3 feet thick. One chair, ornate, Jacobean, facing the wall. And on the walls, names, hundreds of them, carved, scratched, written in blood, soot, chalk. Different languages, different eras, all variations of the same message. I sat, I remain, I am kept, can't stand, promise holds, 4 centuries, still sitting. Morrison approached the chair. It looked ordinary, wooden, well preserved, but the armrests, they were worn smooth, not from age, from hands, centuries of hands gripping them. And beneath the chair, on the stone floor, grooves, deep grooves from the chair legs, as if an enormous weight had been sitting there for centuries. Morrison's team photographed everything, but when developed, all photos of the chair showed only blur, distortion, as if the camera couldn't focus on it. Modern analysis suggested intense electromagnetic interference, but from what source? Morrison ordered the chair removed for museum analysis. 6 men tried to lift it. It was light, surprisingly light, but it didn't want to move. One of the movers, David Chen, later described, "It's not that it was heavy,
It's that it resisted, like trying to push two magnets together, an invisible force pushing back. We finally got it off the ground. As we carried it out, I swear I felt it trying to return, pulling back toward that room. The chair was transported to the British Museum. It remained in storage for 6 weeks. Then, on October 2nd, 1978, at 3:47 a.m., every security alarm in the museum triggered. Security found nothing stolen, nothing damaged, except the chair was gone from its storage crate. Workers arrived at Wynyates the next morning. The chair was back, in the sealed room, in its exact original position, facing the wall. Morrison submitted his findings and resigned. In his exit interview, he said,
"Some artifacts aren't meant to be disturbed. The chair doesn't belong in a museum. It belongs exactly where it was. And something belongs in that chair. Whether it's there now or not, I don't know. But the chair is waiting for it, has been for centuries, and it will wait for centuries more." Marcus Webb, urban explorer, 26 years old. He broke into Wynyates to live stream for his 80,000 YouTube followers. He found the sealed room, the new reinforced steel door. He touched it on camera. It was warm, body temperature. Then his own voice, played backwards, came through the door. He ran, but the stream continued for 40 minutes. 80,000 people watched as something pressed against the door from inside, not breaking through, just pressing, rhythmically, like breathing. The stream ended at exactly 60 minutes. The video vanished from YouTube, completely scrubbed. But screenshots remain. The last screenshot shows the door bulging outward, and in the distorted metal, clear as day, a handprint, 7 fingers, from the inside. Conclusion: the present day. Today, 2026, Wynyates Manor still stands. The Compton family still owns it, still pays for its maintenance. The sealed room remains sealed. The chair remains inside, waiting. In 2021, the Compton family archives were partially digitized. One document was released to academic researchers, Sir William Compton's final journal entry, September 14, 1562, hours before his death. It grows restless. 400 years is an eternity to sit, but we made an agreement. It sits, we maintain the house. If the house falls, it stands. If it stands, I do not know what it will do, but I know England is not ready. Wynyates Manor must stand. The room must remain sealed, because something sits in that chair, or something once did, or something will again. Time is different in that room, and patience has limits. If you drive past Wynyates at exactly 3:47 a.m., you'll see 47 windows, all dark, except one. The west wing, ground floor, where a light flickers, like someone just sat down and is waiting for their turn to stand. Wynyates Manor is real. The Compton family is real. The sealed room exists. Some details have been dramatized, others have been suppressed. The chair's current status is classified. But one thing is certain. Something sat, something waited, something still waits, and 476 years is a very long time to keep a promise.